Hey everybody, and welcome back to Marvel Champions Experience. Remember, I would always appreciate it if you liked the video. If you truly like this content, please think about subscribing. And last but not least, especially today, everyone, drop a message down in the comments. I want to know what you think about what we're going to be opening right now, NeXt Evolution, right? So please, 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 if you like this, please like the channel, subscribe, and let us know what's going on, your thoughts and opinions on NeXt Evolution. So if you are subscribed, I dropped in the community area that my buddy Matt found a place that had NeXt Evolution a day early, drove down there, got it, picked it up, and I'm back an hour and a half later, 45 minutes each way. But I'm really excited. I don't really know what's in here for the most part. You know, I did my videos of Domino, of Cable. I saw half of their cards. I've been in the dark ever since then because I like being surprised, and I really have no idea what's going on with the villains, and I've completely forgot just in general. So if you want to be, if you want to, this is going to be a full spoiler, right? So if you want to be surprised, please, just don't watch, right? But let's do this. So, all right, what do we got going on here? So this is the first thing that I don't remember when they announced it, right? So I knew Domino and Cable were coming, right? But the villains here says the Marauders, Juggernaut, and Mr. Sinister, Strife. Now I don't remember. I think the Marauders was a two-part fight, which is why there's only 4 villains here. I think Juggernaut might be the last one, but I don't know. Let's see. All right. So let us open this up. All right, I'm very, very, very hyped. I'm going to make a video tomorrow. I'm going to use the Domino and, why isn't this opening? I'm going to use Domino and Cable precons. There we go. I'm going to try them out against Claw. I love fighting villains against new heroes with Claw because I know Claw fairly well, and I think he's a good starter villain. All right, let's do this. I'm opened up like 6 of these already. I know what to expect. We're going to see that stupid cardboard, right? Little flap thing. Oh no. Yeah, there it is. All right, so let's move this over here. There's the cardboard, right? There's a little flap thing. Let's grab these cards out. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of cards in here. Maybe it's because I haven't opened a campaign in so long. I don't remember when Mutant Genesis was. I think it was almost a year ago, which is crazy. I think it's almost been a year since we got a campaign. This was a very, very slow year for Marvel Champions, unfortunately, but that makes this all the better. All right, before we look at that, let's just take a quick glance through the campaign. I won't really go to the story because that I want to leave for you guys. I don't want to spoil that. Let's see. New player card type, player side scheme. We knew about that, right? So the number of player side schemes in play at any time is limited by the player side scheme limit. Is that anywhere? I don't really know where that is, but I don't know. I'll figure that out later. The number of player side schemes that in play is a player side scheme limit. Oh, here it is. If 1 or 2 players start the game, the player side scheme limit is 1. Got it. Okay, so you can only have 1 player side scheme out at one time. Yeah, well, I don't need to read all this now. You don't want to see that. I don't think there's any new featured keywords. I don't see anything just that pops into my eye. Campaign side schemes. Yeah, so we won't read that, all right? What should we dig into first? Let's go with, actually, I don't want to spoil this for you, so I'm going to pull this off to the side I'm curious about the final villain. Okay, yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for you all, so I just want to see what the villains are. All right. Okay. All right, let's open Cable first because I'm actually looking forward to Domino more. All right, let's get Cable open. For those of you who've been following a while, I have this little nail over here that I keep to the side that one day will give me tetanus for cutting myself, but I use it to open the packs. Don't fall, Venom. Here we go. Cable. That's garbage. All right. Cable, Nathan Summers. Let's see. You got a 4 recovery. You may include player side schemes from any aspect in your deck. That's really good, right? Search your deck and discard pile for a player side scheme put into play. So that's a great setup, right? Starting with a player side scheme. He's got a 2/2/2. After Cable defeats a side scheme, ready him. Yeah, that's great. So off the top of my head, I'm thinking Justice for Cable, right? But let's see. These are his cards. Oh, sorry. He's got a, let's see, hand size is 6 and 5. He's got a really nice stat line. Really nice stat line. He's got 12 health, which is actually crazy. 4 recovery, which is solid. And 2/2/2. Just his base stats seem honestly a little OP. But all right, so we have a, is my light on? There we go. Sorry about that. 0 cost, body slide, change form. Each other player may change to the form you are in. That's cool. So you could flip, and other heroes, if you're playing, can do the same thing too. That's really cool. So you can play this in both forms, alter ego or hero. So we have 3 copies of Mind Scan. I remember reading about this. This is a psionic, superpower, and thwart. Hero action, thwart, remove 3 threat from a scheme, remove 1 additional threat from that scheme for each side scheme in the victory display. I think the player side schemes go in the victory display. I think, if I remember correctly. We have a 0 cost precognition, another superpower, psionic. Look at the, I'm sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments. Look at the top X cards of the encounter deck, where X is the number of side schemes in the victory display. You may discard one of those cards, put the rest back in any order. Now I do want to see, I want to go back to this. Looking at the player side schemes, because regular side schemes don't go to the victory display. I wonder if these villains do. Let's see. Here we go. A player's side scheme remains in play until either there's no threat on it, which causes it to be defeated or discarded, or if it has the victory keyword, add to the victory display. There it is. All right. Just want to be sure about that. We have 2 copies of Telekinetic Blast, 3 cost event, another superpower. We're looking at Def Focus with Cable. It's an attack, psionic. Deal 6 damage to an enemy, deal 1 damage to that enemy for each side scheme in the victory display. So I think you're going to want to be, since he can have side schemes from any aspect, I think you're going to want to be loading his deck with player side schemes. Here is his own side scheme, the Technovirus Purge. So this would go into the victory display, right? Characters other than Cable cannot remove threat from Technovirus Purge. While Technovirus Purge is in the victory display, Cable gets the psionic trait, and Cable gets +1 to everything. So this is a 5 threat on it to remove. Oh, he doesn't have psionic over here. That's interesting. All right, so that's our first player side. It's 0 cost to bring it out as well. So, and he starts, you can search your deck and put 1 into play. So you can just put that into play right away. Gray Malkin, 2 cost location. After a side scheme is defeated, ready this, exhaust this, and generate a energy resource. Nice. Little resource generation, never hurt anybody. Wow, and the rest of these, so 1, 2. Cable only has 1, 2, 3. He's only got 4 event cards. The rest of these are supports and upgrades, which is not necessarily my playstyle, but let's see. 1 cost support Professor, exhaust Professor. Choose to either draw 1 card or search your deck and discard pile for a player side scheme and add to your hand. Cool. 1 cost upgrade. I can't pronounce this. Ashkani-san? Ashkani-san? Let's see. 1 cost upgrade. Thwart. After you defend against an enemy attack, exhaust, I don't want to pronounce it wrong, this card, and spend an energy resource, remove threat from a scheme equal to your hero's thwart. So after you defend, you would exhaust this and spend an energy resource to thwart. That's kind of cool. All right, so he's got a, if you have the Technovirus Purge out, he's a 3/3/3. If you end up having Grey Malkin out, that could be your resource, and he can defend and remove 3 threat. Forced Amnesia. 1 cost upgrade, another superpower. None of these superpowers. Another superpower. After a non-permanent side scheme is defeated, add Forced Amnesia to that side. Add Forced Amnesia and that side scheme to the victory display. Okay, hang on a second. Just wanted to see something. For each side scheme in the victory display. So for each side scheme in the victory, I don't understand how this helps. After a non-permanent side scheme is defeated, add Forced Amnesia and that side. Oh, I see. So you can put this on any side scheme. Got it. Like, this one has a victory display, but if there are, like, if I'm playing against Rhino with bomb squad, right? Or bomb scare, and that side scheme comes out, I can add this. I can add bomb scare and side scheme and this to the victory display. Adding bomb scare to the, adding that side scheme that doesn't have a victory condition to the victory display. That's kind of cool. All right, so we got a weapon right here. His rifle, of course, right? 2 cost upgrade. It is restricted. Hero action attack. Exhaust plasma rifle and spend an energy resource, which we have with Grey Malkin. Deal 1 damage to an enemy for each side scheme in the victory display to a maximum of 4. And it has ranged. Dope. We have telekinetic force field. Hero form only. 2 cost upgrade. Another superpower. When a friendly character would take any amount of damage, discard this to prevent all of that damage. That's awesome. That's awesome. Considering I just played some expert game. You know what? Sadly enough, it was expert. What did I just do? Expert Wrecking Crew, and Bulldozer had like a 5 base attack plus like 3. So he was like hitting for 8. So that's actually great. And last cable card is a 2 cost upgrade, Temporal Leap. It's a tactic, Hero Interrupt. Oh, I like the art on this one. When the main scheme would be completed, remove this card from the game and put a side scheme from the victory display into play. Move 4 threat from the main scheme to that side scheme. This is wild, actually. I did not see anything about this card. You know, there are some heroes that have, like Wolverine, right? Off the top of my head, has this for health, where if you would die, you would, you know, come back to life and put 4 health. This is the first time I've ever seen anything like this for the main scheme. This is great. This is really, really, really good. I love this card, actually, especially since, you know, you will have side schemes in the victory display because of cable, and then you can possibly just get it back. This is a great card. That's a great card. He's got a really interesting kit. Like, he doesn't seem flashy, but he seems like he's going to do a lot of things really, really well. Like, really, really well. I was saying earlier that I liked his stat line, like a lot of health, a lot of recovery. Love these abilities. And I think they did a really good job balancing him out with only like 4 events, like I said, and a lot of upgrades. So they balanced out this really, really strong stats here with, they're not mid cards, but you just got to like, you got to be creative with them. It's not like an instant win character. All right, let's see what we got here. So he comes with a leadership deck. Oh, there are some side schemes. Let's take a look at his pre-con. Is this all his pre-con? I guess this is all his pre-con. Let's count this real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, that's 25 there, but you know what's funny? There are 25 cards here, right? Which are, you know, what you need, but 3 of these are not resources. So if you're going to use these if you're going to use this pre-con, which I will tomorrow, I'm going to have to take 3 cards out of here in order to get my energy resources. Well, let's see what he's got. He's got Caliban, 3 cost ally. And if I'm pronouncing these wrong, I'm sorry. X-Force is I've never really read X-Force too much. 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, each with 1 consequential, 3 health. After he enters play, discard cards from the top of your deck until an X Factor, Force, or X-Men ally is discarded, adds to your hand. I don't love that. I'm not a big fan of those types of cards. I just don't like going through my deck a lot. That's just a personal thing. Phantom X, 4-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack. Psionic X-Force, 3 health. After he also 1 consequential damage for each. After he enters play, search the deck and discard pile for EVA and put it into play. Don't know what that is, but we'll find out. That's not like anything here, right? Don't think so. Yep. All right. Sunspot. For those of you who play Marvel Snap, one of my most used cards. 3-cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack. Aerial, 2 health. After you play Sunspot from your hand, choose a player. Deal 1 damage to the villain, and each minion engage with the chosen player for each energy resource used to pay for Sunspot. That's interesting. Also, don't really love it, but that's fine. So we have 3 copies of Mission Planning. 2-cost event. Play only if there's a side scheme in the victory display. Until the end of the phase, allies you control do not take consequential damage. That's stupid. Oh my god, that's amazing. Because basically you should always have a side scheme in the victory display of the cable, right? He starts with 1. I mean, he starts by drawing 1. And here are some more. So here's a leadership. Here's the first leadership side scheme that I'm seeing. 1 cost to bring it out, right? It's got 3 threat on it to defeat it. Each player may search their deck and discard pile for an ally and put it into play. You're kidding me. You're kidding me, right? This is 1 cost. If he gets out his other side scheme, right? He's a 1/1/1. Plus 1 each. So he's 3/3/3. You play this, you can get it out on the first turn. If you're playing True Solo, right? And each player can search their deck and discard pile for an ally and put it into play. You can just put your one of the most expensive allies into your deck and just use it as a resource until this comes out. I remember loving seeing that card. Lock and Load. 1 cost aggression. Player side scheme, 2 to remove it. When defeated, each player may search their deck and discard pile for a weapon upgrade with the cost of 3 or less and put it into play. Yeah, that's great. He's got a weapon there. I'm already thinking like the what the heck is it called? The Justice one, the concussive one, the one that confuses, that 3-cost one. I remember not liking this one. Let's see what it was. And I'm a big protection fan. 1 cost to bring it out. 2 threat on it. Give each identity a tough status card. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's fine. Nothing special. Here's EVA that you can get with when you put out Phantom X. If Phantom X is not in play, discard EVA. Oh, I see. So when Phantom X dies, this got to go away too. Exhaust EVA. Choose to remove 1 threat from a scheme. Deal 1 damage to an enemy. Heal 1 damage from Phantom X. That's awesome. Okay, Phantom X just rose up in value. That's a great card. We have 3 copies of the Uncanny X-Force, not to be confused with the Men. 2-cost support. Play under any player's control. Max 1 team card per player. I need to look that up. This is a team. Oh, sorry, never mind. This is the team card, max 1 team card per player. Got it. If each of your characters has the X-Force trait, each ally you control gets +1 thwart and takes -1 consequential damage after thwarting a side scheme. Wow. Wow. And for the love of God, if there is like if this comes with, what's it called, honorary X-Force member, and you can just make another ally an X-Force member, this is going to be stupid. But that's really good. This is great. This is a great card. All right. We have a 2-cost upgrade. Mission Leader. Reduce the cost to play Mission Leader by 1 if your identity has the Soldier trait. You know, I think Captain America also has a Soldier trait, but I don't remember. Hero response. After a side scheme is defeated, exhaust this, and each player draws a card. Yeah, that's awesome. He seems like a better version of Cyclops to me. And I liked Cyclops. And I don't see Honorary X-Force. All right, we got a lot of allies here. We have the Deadpool. 3-cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 attack. He's a mercenary and an X-Force member with 3 health. When Deadpool would be defeated by consequential damage, heal 3 damage from him instead. Add an acceleration token to the maid scheme. That's really funny. That's just like his hero card. But I actually don't think this is good. Yeah, I don't think this is a good card. Well, let me not say that. Let me not say that. You can, like, because you can get him out for 3 costs. You can do you can do a total of 4 damage or 4 thwart, and with the last 1 health, you can have him chump block. Like, I wouldn't bring him back for the acceleration token. So he's fine. He's fine. Deathlock, 4-cost Deathlock. 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health. After Deathlock enters play, choose an upgrade in any player's discard pile with the cost of 1 or less that can be attached to Deathlock. Attach it to Deathlock. That's cool. So he basically gets a free upgrade. Frenemies, 1-cost event. There we have Cable and Deadpool. This is a thwart. Team up, Cable and Deadpool. Max 1 per deck. This better be good. Deal 1 damage each to Cable and Deadpool. Remove 3 threat from a scheme and 3 threat from a different scheme. It's fine. It's not great. All right, we have a basic side scheme. Build support, 1 cost, 3 threat on it. When each player, when defeated, each player may search their deck and discard pile for a support with 3 costs or less and put it into play. Whoa, boy! I'm sorry. This one is amazing. This is going into all of my decks. I'm letting you know that right now. This is going to all of my decks. All of my decks now are all going to come with Helicarrier, and this is going to make playing Helicarrier free. This is an instant. I've never seen this card. This is an instant auto include in every single one of my decks with something like Helicarrier. I noticed this. What is this? Is this a new resource? The Power of the Mind. Double the number of resources this card generates while paying for a psionic card. Got it. So this is sort of like, you know, the resources for each aspect, but specifically for psionic. So now I'm just curious. I know I mentioned it a lot. 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 psionic cards here. I don't think I see any here. Well, maybe. Yeah, well, we have allies who are psionic. And so this also might be good in a Jean Grey deck. Decent card. Decent. But I don't know. We need more psionic cards to actually see. Then we have a 2-cost upgrade. Scimitar. It took me a minute to read it. Psionic weapon. Oh, there you go. Another psionic. And it is restricted. Attack after you play another psionic card. Exhaust this. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. That's pretty cool. So, again, thinking about making a psionic heavy deck. And then we have 3 copies of Sidearm. 1 cost upgraded as a weapon attached to an ally. Match 1 per ally. Attached ally gets +1 attack and gets ranged. So there is Deathlock's upgrade. Interesting setup. It got really nice in this middle that I was looking at. Teetered off a little towards the end. But I think his precon looks good. It looks good. It looks good. I think this is a very playable precon. And I really don't want to go through this too much, but let's see what his obligation does. And then, you know, you've got his side nemesis stuff. His obligation, because we could see this a bunch. All right, search your deck and discard pile and victory display for Technovirus Purge. Put it into play. Attach this to Technovirus Purge. If you can't discard this and deal yourself 1 face down encounter card, this gets an acceleration token. Yeah, this is actually a rough obligation, actually. This is a bad one. It's actually one, excuse me, it's still one of the worst obligations I've seen. This one's bad. All right, well, there's Cable. There is Cable. You know what I'll do? I'm going to play both of them tomorrow. Now we're going to open Domino. I'm going to play both of them tomorrow, but I don't want to post them both on the same day. So I'll post like one tomorrow or Saturday. I'll post one Saturday and one Sunday, and I'll ask which one you guys want to see first. Which one do you guys want to see on Saturday and Sunday? So I'll post this video tonight. So hopefully you'll have this. Right now it's like 9:30 something. Hopefully you'll have this by like 10:30. All right. Let's see. This is the one I'm excited for. She seems crazy, like just wild and fun. And I think she's probably one of the most unique characters that I've seen so far. All right. So we have Nina Thurman. 9 health, 6 hand size, 3 recovery. I don't love that. But let's see what else we got. Choose a card in your hand. Swap that card with the top card of your discard pile. Not bad. Rolling the dice. Let's see what you got over here, Domino. 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 defense. She is a posse, and she's an X-Force member. She gets 5 health, 5 hand size here. When counting resource on cards discarded from the top of your deck, count each printed wild icon twice. And her action is choose a card in your hand and swap that card with the top card of your deck. Limit once per round. So she's really leaning into the, you know, the luck RNG factor, which is true to her, which I think is really cool. So, and I remember that they saying basically, I didn't notice it until they mentioned it, but I think all of her cards are wild resources, or almost all of her cards. So I'm really interested in making just a full wild resource deck with her. I think that's going to be cool. All right, so let's take a look at Domino's signature cards. We have Diamondback, 2 cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 health. Also a posse member. Exhaust Diamondback, deal 1 damage to her and discard the top card of your deck. Deal 1 damage to each enemy for each resource icon discarded this way. So, and then don't forget that Domino says when counting discarded cards, you count wild resources twice. So for the most part, if your luck is good, this will be dealing 2 damage to the enemy. We have Outlaw, 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack. We have a little asterisk here. So you come in with a toughness. When Outlaw attacks, discard the top card of your deck. Outlaw gets +1 attack for this attack for each resource icon discarded this way. Again, she can go up to a 3 if we get a wild resource. Oh, we have 2 copies of A Good Workout, 2 cost event. And this is deal 4 damage to an enemy and discard the top card of your deck. For each resource icon discarded this way, deal 1 additional damage to that enemy. So this could be a 6 damage attack as long as it's a wild resource. We have 1 copy of Luck Be a Lady, 1 cost event. Discard the top card of your deck and count the resources on it. For each resource counted that way, if it is a, okay, so here's what we can do. Energy, heal 2 damage from a character. Mental, remove 2 threat from a scheme. Physical, deal 3 damage to an enemy. Wild, choose one of the above. So obviously we're looking for the wild. And so far these have all been wild. And just to, let's just skim through. Yeah, all of her cards are wild. All of her cards are wild. So we have 2 copies of, and I love the art on this one. This one is very, very cartoony. Let's see. 2 cost event, superpower and a thwart. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. Discard the top card of your deck. For each resource icon discarded this way, remove 1 additional threat. So this is a 2 cost. You could possibly remove 5 threat. Very nice. Whoops. I only have to get these sleeved tonight. No big deal. No big deal. 1 copy of Jackpot. After this card is discarded from the top of your deck, shuffle it back into your deck. That's interesting. And this is a 3 power card, which is great. We don't see too many of these. Pip the Pug. Oh, I love you. 1 cost support. You are a creature. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've never seen the creature title before. Alter Ego action. Exhaust Pip the Pug. And then put 1 Domino or Posse card from your discard pile into the top of your deck. That's cool because you get to know what it is. I mean, it'll definitely be another wild resource. And just keep cycling cards. It's an Alter Ego action, though, I gotta remember. I always make mistakes on the Alter Ego actions. All right, then we have the Painted Lady. 1 cost support. It is a vehicle. After you discard a card from the top of your deck, attach that card face down here. Exhaust the Painted Lady. Add one card attached here to your hand. So that's really cool because a lot of her cards are asking you to discard cards. So if you have the Painted Lady out, you can just get those here and play them as if they were in your hand. That's great. We have 2 copies of Domino's Pistol, which is a 2-cost upgrade, a weapon and restricted, so you can get 2 of these out. Exhaust Domino's Pistol, choose an enemy, and discard the top card of your deck. Choose an enemy and discard the top card of your deck. Deal 1 damage to that enemy for each resource icon. And get Surge. So basically, if you have 2 of these out, you most likely, hopefully, dealing 4 damage, right? Unless you hit the jackpot. Oh, I see what they did there. I see what they did there. And you can deal like 3 damage. That's cool. Nice. It's like a little bit like Venom, sort of, right? With the pistols. We have 3 upgrades. So we have a 1-cost upgrade, Lucky and Good. Hero Interrupt Defense. When a boost card is turned face up during an attack against you, exhaust Lucky and Good. Discard that card's boost icons and boost ability. Give the attacking enemy another boost card for this attack. I actually don't love cards like this. This is not the first time you get cards like this. Again, playing into her RNG, which I love, is thematic, but I don't love, like, maybe you get something bad and then you get something worse. But that's the whole point of her, right? That's the whole point of her. 0-cost upgrade, superpower, Lucky Break. When you reveal an encounter card, discard Lucky Break. Cancel the effects of that card, discard it, reveal another card. Again, just lean into the RNG. I love how thematic it is. I don't know if I personally, depending on how bad they were, right? Yeah, like you get, let's say you get your Obligation or you get Shadows of the Past. Yeah, it's great. And last but not least, Probability Field. Superpower. When you use a basic power, discard the top card of your deck. You get +1 to that power for each resource icon discard this way. Oh, shoot. This stays. I was assuming this was going to get discarded for some reason. 2-cost upgrade, right? When you use a basic power, discard the top card of your deck. You get +1 to that power. Wow, this is really good. This is really good. This is probably, honestly, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, this might be your best card, right? Because you're looking for the wild. If you hit the jackpot, that's 3, right? But at minimum, if you get the wild icons, she's got a 4 attack. Hit the jackpot, that's 5, and this stays in play. I think this is her best card. I love that. I love that card. All right, let's take a look at her pre-con. It looks like it is. Oh, here are our energy resources. Just double check this one to count out 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. All right, let's see what we got in our pre-con Justice deck. We have Feral. All right, 4-cost ally, very expensive. 2 thwart with an asterisk, 2 attack, 3 health. After Feral thwarts, discard the top card of your deck for each resource icon discarded this way. Deal 1 damage to the villain. And remember this, when counting resources, it's twice. So Feral could actually be a 4 attack, which is solid. Wolvesbane. 3-cost ally, 2 thwart with an asterisk, 1 attack, 3 health. After Wolvesbane's thwarts, name a card type, then discard the top card of your deck. If that card is of the name type, you may add it to your hand. Oh, looks like Cosmo, but with a little bit of a change. Like that. I like that a lot. We have 3 copies of, actually I didn't know, I just took a good guess, but I was right. 3 copies of Evening the Odds. 2-cost event, it's a thwart. You need an energy resource to pay for this. All right. Hero action, thwart. Remove 1 threat per player from each side scheme. Deal 1 damage to the villain for each side scheme defeated this way. That's okay. That's okay. I don't know. 2 cost. 2 energy, 2 resources. One of them needs to be an energy. Removing 1 threat from each side. 1 threat per player. Yeah, I don't know about this one. As a true solo player, I don't know about that card. Actually, I don't like that card at all for true solo. Period. Here comes another. Looks like it's going to be better with multiplayer because it's cost 2 per player. Or maybe actually the opposite because of that. Alliance. The players can pay for this card's cost as a group. Remove 3 threat per player from a side scheme. Yeah, again, it gets better the more players you have. So, but I do have a play group. Hope you guys are watching. Guys, maybe we'll be using these cards. All right, here we go. We got a Justice side scheme. 4 costs to remove it, 0 costs to put it out. When defeated, each player may discard 1 non-elite minion from play. That's good. That's solid. These cards, especially these events, seem very themed and heavy towards playing with a group. Overwatch. This is not a new card. Wait, is it? I think it's just new art. When any amount of threat is removed from the attached scheme by a thwart, discard this card. Yeah, this is an old card. We just got some new art on it. So looks like I will have to. I actually love Overwatch. I personally like Overwatch more than multitasking, but we'll see how that goes. All right, we got some new basic cards. Atlas Bear. 1 thwart, 1 attack, 3 health. It's also a posse from Wakanda. Exhaust Atlas Bear. Look at the top card of a player deck. If that card is event, you may deal 1 damage to Atlas. What? Wait, hold on, pause. If that card is an event, you may deal 1 damage to Atlas Bear and add that card to your owner's hand. Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't really see the point of that. Just wait a turn to get the card. I don't know. I mean, maybe if it's the beginning of your turn and you just want to draw a card, okay, maybe it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I guess it'll work that way, right? Play at the beginning of your turn, try to draw a card, but I'm not a big fan. White Fox, 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 3 health, also a posse member. While White Fox is after White Fox is discarded from the top of your deck, put her into play under your control. That's very cool. Yeah, that actually works out really well, especially with Domino, who's like looking at the top card of all your decks of your deck and discarding them. I like that one. The Posse, there it is. Let's see what this is. All right, 2 cost event, max 1 per deck. Play only if you control at least. That is difficult. Play only if you control at least 3 characters with the Posse trait. Heal 1 damage from each Posse character and ready them. This is a fantastic card and extremely hard, in my opinion, to get out. Extremely hard, right? Domino, where are your cards? You have a Posse friend, right? 3 costs, 2 costs. You just gotta keep them alive, and then maybe get this discarded 3 cost. These are not Posse members. Yeah, this is a great card, and it's going to be very hard to actually use. Here comes another basic player side scheme. Let's see if it's an auto-include like the other one for me. 1 cost, 3 threat on it. Each player may search their deck and discard pile for an identity-specific upgrade and put it into play. Identity-specific upgrade. Deck and discard pile for an identity-specific upgrade. Yeah, this is actually very good. Depending on the hero you're using. Right, depending on the hero you're using. If you're using a hero that has a... Oh, off the top of my head, we're looking at Rocket Raccoon, possibly, right? This might be an auto-include in Rocket Raccoon decks. Maybe Peter Quill. So this could be a very good card, depending on the hero. Okay, we have a new resource. After this card is discarded from the top... After this card is discarded from the top of your deck, add it to your hand. It's a wild resource. So this is an auto-include in Domino decks, I'm thinking. Auto-include in Domino decks. All 3 of these. All 3 of these, right? Wild resource. If it's discarded, add it to your hand. Yeah, this is an auto-include in Domino decks. I'm thinking just, you know, I haven't used there, just theory crafting, literally on the spot with you all. We have our 3 resource cards. We have 3, and this is our last thing. We have 3 copies of this 2 cost upgrade. Max 1 per player. When you make a ranged attack, discard the top card of your deck. This attack deals 1 additional damage for the resource icon discarded this way. Ranged attack. Do we have any ranged attacks here? Does she have a... Oh, she has got her pistols. Are those ranged? I missed it. Let's see. Were the pistols ranged? Yeah, this attack gains ranged. Okay. Yeah, so that sharpshooter looks good with her as well. I think her pre-con off the top of my head looks slightly better than Cable's. Slightly. If you hit with all these abilities, it's better. But I don't know. I want to get into my hand very, very, excited to get both of them in their hand. All right, let's see. We don't need to go through this. Topaz, I don't know who you are. All right, let's see what this obligation does. It looks like a scary picture. So, treat your identity's printed text box as if it were blank except for traits. Exhaust your identity, discard this. Yeah, so you just got to auto. It's an exhaust. Cables is way worse. So, as long as you can just exhaust that, it's easy. All right, those are our 2 heroes. And we're moving on. Let's, I don't know. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to open all of them and then separate them. That's what we're going to do. I think that's going to be the easiest thing. Oh, you know what? Yeah, actually, I was going to say, let's look at the book. But I don't want to spoil who the last fight is if you're going to be doing the campaign. I actually don't know. Here comes the tetanus. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the campaign. I actually didn't do the campaign for the Mutant Genesis. It's the first time I've never done a campaign. I don't know. I just wasn't really interested in doing all the campaign cards, especially since you really only use them the one time ever and then you just put them away forever. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the Mutant Genesis campaign and honestly just read the story. I think that's just what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to read the story but not play the campaign. You know, it's a lot of setup, a lot of recording things, and it's great and all, but since I play true solo, you know, you can, I don't know. I'm not saying it's bad. Like, if you like it, go for it. I used to love it, but my time is so limited now that, especially with work coming back around, I'm a teacher, if anyone's new who didn't know. So I don't think I'm going to be doing the campaign. I think I'm just going to read it. So, all right. We are tetanus free for this video. And let us get comfortable again because I've been sitting for a while. And let's figure this out. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here just yet. Let's sort this stuff out. So Marauders, I see the Marauders here. I don't really understand what's going on with them. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on with these Marauders fights. I'm going to have to put this to the side in a second because I knew this fight was a little weird, I thought, but I don't really know what I'm looking at, to tell you the truth. Okay, so maybe this is a whole fight. I'm unclear. Oh, no. My lights went off. I gotta fix that. Hang on. I don't think I'm gonna be able... I don't have my tablet with me. I'm gonna have to pause the video real quick. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I have my light upstairs on a timer. All right. So, I don't know what's going on over here. Okay, I saw this one said the Nasty Boys. Not to be confused with the hit 80s wrestling team. All right, so this is a modular. I don't really know what's going on with that. Okay, here's Juggernaut. Let's see if we can separate Juggernaut, right? He's got 18 cards, and it looks like those are all of them. Oh, I think Hope comes with Juggernaut. Does Hope come with Juggernaut? Let's see. I think I remember Hope coming with Juggernaut. Let's see. Attach, put Hope Summers into play. Yeah, so Hope comes with Juggernaut. So we'll keep her here. Captive Hope, this looks like she comes with as well. Okay, so here's Juggernaut. Here is another modular. Black Tom Cassidy. Again, I'm sorry, I am very, very unfamiliar with X-Force. I never read X-Force when I was a kid. All right, Mr. Sinister. Let's get all the Mr. Sinister cards to the side. Okay. And this is probably, I mean, there's a picture of Mr. Sinister there. This is probably going to be the one that they asked to come with. Let's see. Mr. Sinister, Flight, Super Strength, Telepathy. Holy crap. Wait, this is a lot. I normally don't read this, but Contents. Mr. Sinister, Flight, super strength, telepathy, Hope Summers, and standard, and 1 modular. So he's got a crap load of modulars that he comes with. So that was like flight, super strength. That's a lot, man. All right, so here was the flight. Here's the super strength. Here's the telepathy. Okay. I know the Nasty Boys was one of them as well. I just want to try to keep things together. You know what? Doesn't really matter. Those are just going to be modulars. I'll sleeve those later. Okay, here's Strife. Strife has 21 cards. All right. So here's Strife. So we have, let's put these over here. We have Juggernaut, Mr. Sinister, and Strife. Extreme Measures, this is a modular. Mutant Insurrection is another modular. Oh, here's the campaign stuff. Yeah, this stuff is just gonna get, this is just gonna get put into my box because it's not really for me anymore. It was for a little bit, but, oh, what is this? I see a Hope Summers, and it doesn't say anything about the campaign. So this might actually, I wonder if I can put this in any of my decks. It doesn't say campaign on it. They usually say, like this one says campaign. I wonder if I can put Hope Summers into any of my decks. I'm going to go with yes. So I'll put her aside. All right, so these are our campaign cards. Here are the modulars. Over here to the side. So it looks, okay, this is going to be the difficult one to figure out. All right, so off the top, I see Nasty Boys, which is 1. Black Tom Cassidy, 2. Mutant Insurrection, 3. Extreme Measures, 4. We got a lot of modulars here. Flight, 5. Super Strength, 6. Telepathy, 7. That's 7 modulars, new modulars that I'm seeing. And I gotta figure this. So 1, 2, 3. And then I would say, I said this might have been 4 and 5, right? I don't really understand what's going on with this and why are there hero cards here. Oh, that's probably part of their fight. Okay, I see A. Okay, these look like the Marauders, right? Oh, here we go. Here are some instructions. I'm going to assume that this is all a fight. I just don't really understand how this works. So let's take a look at this together real quick because I'm very curious. Okay, knock, knock. Marauder side A, Morlock, Siege, and Standard Encounter sets. Put the routed environment into play. Okay. So what am I doing? Morlock, Siege. Okay. Marauder side A and side B. So it's these. These are the Marauders. These are all the Marauders. Okay. And I remember the fight being a little weird. Let's see. Put the routed environment into play. Morlock Siege. So you have to have Morlock Siege with this. This is Morlock Siege. Okay, so this is the Marauders. This is their, what's it called? This is their deck, the Morlock Siege. But I don't, is it only 4? Oh, no, here's the other one. Here's the other one. Yeah, okay, I was on the run. Did I drop that one? Yeah. Okay, so I remember seeing that, like, I think 2 of them are random going to be for the first fight, and then some's going to be random for the second fight. All right, so put the routed environment into play. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place a 1 knock counter here if there are at least 3. Oh, shoot, that sucks. That's going to go quick. Can you stop that anyhow? I don't know. We'll figure that out. All right, so it looks like the Morlock Siege. Can you draw these or something? I don't really know. Unclear. I'm gonna have to read about it in the instruction manual. All right, so that's for that. I'm going to assume this military grade probably goes with it as well. Oh, these are, yeah. Oh, this is gonna be a encounter set, it looks like. Mutant Slayers looks like it's also gonna be an encounter set. Mutant Slayers, right? So let's see. I'm just curious. I want to go back to the... I'm sorry if this video is long and boring, but I'm like really interested. Like I'm like just talking and thinking now. Mutant Slayers and military grade. Yeah, those are... Okay, so they are just the recommended... Well, see, two mod... Yeah, they're just the recommended ones, but you can play them in anything. Okay. What do you do with these, though? Let's see. Put the router in... Oh, it's probably here. Router environment and set the hide treachery. And each Morlock ally aside. Shuffle the villains together without looking to create the villain deck. The top card is in play. Right, got it. When... One Morlock ally. Okay, so this one seems a little intricate. I'll have to get to that. And this is the other one, right? So, more Marauders. Put one random Marauder into play. Yeah. So, the Marauders are a two-part fight. I remember some people saying they didn't like that because you're like technically missing a villain. I'm interested. I'm going to see how that goes. All right. So, there are our 4 villains. Didn't you say 5? You lied to us. It's 5 missions, but these guys got a lot going on. So, let's take a look at Mr. Sinister. I'm just going to look at the base one for the most part. 2 scheme, 1 attack. After a status card is placed on Mr. Sinister, place 1 threat in the main scheme. Ooh, that's an interesting way to prevent stun locking. Place 1 threat on the main scheme, 2 threat instead if Mr. Sinister has 2 or few superpower attachments. After status card is placed on Mr. Sinister, place 2 threat in the main scheme. 3 threat in the main scheme. So Mr. Sinister, and when I do these videos, I normally don't go through this because that'll just take forever and that will bore you to death. I just like looking at their base abilities. Mr. Sinister is a really interesting way to counter stun locking and confuse locking. Strife. Oh, Mr. Sinister had 14 health, 17 health, and then on Expert, 21 health. It's got a decent line. Strife. 1 scheme, 0 attack, but you know that means something. When Strife is attacking you, he gets X attack, where X is the number of cards of the most common type in your hand. Oh my god. That's wild. Holy crap. That's wild. He gets, yep, same thing. When reveal, but he's got the same, so he's got the same thing, but now he's a 1/1. Each player discards cards on the top of the encounter deck until a psionic attachment is discarded, and you reveal it. And 2/1, same thing, right, with the X attack. And then after you attack Strife, take X damage. Oh my god. How is that even fair? After you attack Strife, take X damage, where X is the number of cards of the most common type in your hand. I don't even know how you attack him on Expert. This, like, just looking at him, like this, like Expert Strife, specifically Expert Strife, might be one of the hardest villains in the game. Just looking at a glance. Juggernaut, there we go. You can never have 2 scheme. Come on. 1 scheme to attack. Juggernaut gets +1 attack for each momentum counter. And I'm sure he gets a momentum counter on that. Probably like 1 each turn or something like that. When this scheme would be complete. Yeah, whatever. He's going to get momentum counters on him, right? Oh, here we go. When revealed, place one momentum counter here and give him a tough status. So he's going to start with 3. I think you can remove them somehow. I think you can remove them. I don't know. On phase 2, he's a 1 scheme, 3 attack. +1 for each momentum counter. Place 1 momentum counter here. If Juggernaut Exposed is in play, flip it. Otherwise, give Juggernaut a tough status card. Where's the Exposed? We'll look for it because I'm curious now. He's a 2/4 on his last one, +1 for each momentum counter. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for Head of Steam and reveal it. If Exposed is in play, flip it and shuffle it. Let's look for Exposed real quick. What is Exposed? Do you guys see it? I don't see it. Hope Summers. Does Hope Summers do anything? Let's see. No. No. So I'm sure we got to save her. How do we expose Juggernaut? Let's see. I'm just looking to see if there's anything on the back somehow. How do you expose him? Building momentum, breakthrough, flatten, ground pound, trample. I remember seeing something like that though. Like when I was looking at the cards, it definitely said something about exposed. Maybe, let's see. No, it's not that one. Juggernaut, Hope Summers, standard encounter set. I thought it was something with, oh, there it is. I knew it was something with the helmet. Does he start with the helmet? Let's see. Attach Juggernaut's helmet to him. So, let's see. Attach Juggernaut. Juggernaut gains Stalwart and his attacks gain Overkill. Spend 3 resources of the same type. Remove, hold on, hang on. Spend 3 resources of the same type. Remove each momentum counter from the Juggernaut. Flip this card. It's really hard to do, but I think you're going to need to do it. And then he'll be exposed in his ugly face. Juggernaut takes 1 additional damage from each card with a printed mental resource. That's hysterical because he's stupid. Force response. After Juggernaut schemes, place 1 momentum counter on Juggernaut and flip this card. All right, so basically you want to expose him and not flip as long as possible to keep him here. Sort of like the opposite of Green Goblin, but I like that. And there's just a lot of these guys here, so I don't really feel like doing that. I don't know. Let's take a quick look at them. 1 scheme, 1 attack, 10 health. 0 scheme, 2 attack, 11 health. 1 scheme, 1 attack, 11 health. 1 scheme, 1 attack, 9 health. 0 scheme, 2 attack, 10 health. 1 scheme, 1 attack, 9 health. 2 scheme, no attack, 9 health. I'm just looking at this one because I'm always interested in the 0 ones. So you can choose to stun a character you control, or she gets +2 attack. Anybody else have something like that? What do you do? You can choose when Harpoon attacks you or an ally, 2 dark damage. No, but you have 0 scheme. Yeah, this seems like it'll be all right. I don't think it's gonna be too hard. I say that now. All right, everybody. I gotta see what I'm doing with this one because that came in that campaign area. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that unboxing. I'm gonna sleeve these up. I'm gonna sleeve up at least Domino and Cable, and so I can get a video versus Claw to test out those precons by tomorrow. But let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.